Greetings everyone. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to identify pullback the correct way. So it's going to be a in-depth knowledge. It's going to be like a discussion. So it's not scripted. I'm giving you in-depth knowledge. I'm explaining to you just as if I'm talking to a friend. So this particular video is going to help you understand everything related to market pullback. So we are going to start with candles. As a trader, we've all heard about candles, and I think by now you should know how to identify a wick and a body of a candle. So when it comes to market pullback or structure in general, these three words are very important. These three parts of the candles are very important: the wick, the body, that is the high, the wick of the high, the wick of the low, and the body. These three parts are very important. It's very important because it helps us identify what institutions intend to do in the market. So to start up, the most important thing for a trader when identifying a pullback is not this, because I see a lot of traders doing something like this. Once they see something like this, they identify it as pullback. It's not wrong. This is actually a pullback, but there are depth things to it. There are things you need to consider before you qualify or you identify this as an accurate pullback. Now, these things actually is the core fundamental is make sure that price is taking out either the sell candle high or sell candle low, or is taking the buy candle high or buy candle low. It's very important. You should know that color is not important in this particular level. Color does not qualify whether a pullback is valid or not. Color does not determine anything or determine anything in this situation. The most important thing is the candle taking out a high wick or the low wick. If it's not, if it's ranging in between, it's not going to create a valid pullback. I think I'll have to use a diagram to show you that. Then don't worry, after that we'll go to the real life market where I will still explain better on that for you guys. So give me a sec. As I was saying, the most important thing is the candle high and low, that is the wick. It's very important to identify what the wick is telling you. It's very important when you are identifying pullbacks. Like I said before, color does not matter. Color, it's not the most important thing here. The most important thing is that candle, the wicks, what is price doing around the wicks. If you have something like this is not a valid pullback. It has to take out either the low or the high. In the sell scenario, it has to take the high. In the buy scenario, it has to take the low. I'm going to give you more examples, but let me explain better in this. Let me remove this here and show you something. If price should do something like this, which we often see, this is not a valid pullback. This is not a valid pullback. It only becomes a valid pullback when price takes out this wick here, the wick low. When it's on a buy trend, don't forget that when it's on a buy trend, price has to take out the candle, the last candle wick low. Price has to take out the last candle wick low, which is this. If price doesn't take out this, it's not a valid pullback. Let me show you. Let's say you have something like it's not valid. Same scenario here. Price comes, does something like this. This is not a valid pullback. This is not a valid pullback until the high, the last high on the sell trend. I think I should identify this for you guys here. Sell trend, buy trend. So on a buy trend, the last buy candle must be taken out. The wicks must be taken out before price goes up. Whereas for the sell, the last candle, the high must be taken out. If it's not taken out, it does not identify as a valid pullback. It's very important to note this. It does not identify as a valid pullback. This is not a valid pullback until this is taken down before continuing to the upside. Same thing here. So it's very important. Now I'm going to show you guys, this is in a diagram. I'm going to show you in a candle pattern way, so you'll be able to understand this. So candle color in this scenario does not matter, as I told you guys earlier. So we are going to use candles as an example to identify what I just showed you guys based on the line diagram. This is a bullish move. If this week wasn't taken out, if price was trending around this range on the buy side, this is not a valid pullback. This is not a valid pullback until one of these candle wick takes out the low. It's very important for us to know that until one of these wick take out the low, that's only when we can identify this as a valid pullback. If if a wick doesn't take out this candle low, because as I told you guys, this is a buy trend now. This is a buy trend, and why the market is going up, this is the last buy before a sell, the last buy before correction. For example, this last buy candle or this last sell candle, whatever candle it is, the last candle, whether it's a sell or a buy candle, it must, the low must be taken out before price continues up. If it's just like this, it's not a valid pullback. It's very important to understand this. Like, this is not a valid pullback. It becomes a valid pullback when one of these, any of these candles, it might be this, it might be the middle one, it might be the last one, whichever one it is, it has to be swept. It's like a liquidity, which I'm going to teach in another course, in another video. I'm going to explain and teach about the liquidity concept and inducement concept. So it must sweep the low, the liquidity, the low side liquidity. Let me put it that way for you guys to understand. It must sweep this last candle's low before we consider this as a valid pullback. If it doesn't, it is not a valid pullback. It's very important for you to know this. Please and please don't make this mistake. I think this should be a sec. Let me make this is on a sell trend. I said he bought, it came back down. So until this last candle is taken out, the wick is taken out, the last candle wick is taken out, this is not a valid pullback. It's very important for you guys to know that. So I'm going to take you guys to the real life market, so we identify real pullbacks in the markets. It's very, very important to understand this, because if you don't understand how to identify valid pullbacks, it's going to affect your market structure big time. And it's also going to affect you in identifying supplies and demand, because you already know that market structure is key, of course. And if you understand this market pullback, I think it's going to also help you identify inducements and liquidity very easily. So I'm going to take you guys now to the real life markets where we identify valid pullbacks and invalid pullbacks. So we are going to be using Euro USD for the example. So let's go to Euro USD. Let's go to Euro USD. I'm going to start. We are going to use the daily candle to identify valid pullbacks. Yeah. Okay. Sec. All right. So we are using this for an example. So here is the daily charts. Let's identify some pullbacks. We are not going to go deep in this. Just we are going to use one of these lines to identify valid pullbacks. So this is my brush. This is one move, and where do we have a valid pullback? This is a valid pullback. This is a valid pullback. Then price comes back down. This is not a valid pullback. It's very important to understand this. This is a valid pullback. Wait, I think I should use one of these to identify it. Please note this is not structure. This is one move down to this place, for example. I should get this. This is another pullback, valid pullback. It creates a high. Don't forget, it has to. This was the last candle. You can see that it was swept. It took out that high, the liquidity, the weak high. Then it went down. This did not. If you want, I can zoom down. It did not. You can see price did not take out this last candle. So this is not a valid pullback. Where do we have our next valid pullback? Sorry, a sec. So this is one move down to here. Our next valid pullback is this. So this becomes our next high. Becomes our next high. While all this is one move down to the side. Good. Now after this, you can see a valid pullback again. So this becomes our next high. Note, this is not structure mapping. We are going to go deep into structure mapping on our next video. This is solely based on identifying pullbacks, because it's very, very important to understand pullbacks before you jump into structure mapping. So this, sorry, this our high. Now here is a very, very complicated one here. This was the last candle, and you have this swept. Now most of you won't identify this as a pullback, but this is a valid pullback. So our next level is here. Obviously it was swept, so the next high is here. Then next low here, next high is here. So everything here is one move. Somebody will be like, why is this not a valid pullback? Why don't you identify here as a valid pullback and stuff like that? So let me show you guys again. Let me zoom in so you see what's happening here. You see price came down. Oh sorry, it was actually a valid pullback, my bad, sorry. Okay, this, sorry, yeah, I'm correct, a sec. This is the high, so this down is one move. So let me zoom in so you see it. Yeah, you can see here, this is the last candle, not swept. The high was not swept, so price ranged here before dropping, and you can see that it did not take out this weak high. So we are going to identify it as an invalid pullback. So this is one move, this is a valid pullback. So you continue the same trend upward, think, continue the same thing upward, and that's it. So if you like this video and you would love to stay tuned to the next video, which I'm going to be dropping very soon, so I would really appreciate you like, comment, subscribe to this video, and please I'll really appreciate your honest review, and feel free to drop your questions. I'll be able to answer them once I'm available. Thanks very much for joining. See you.